want to turn our attention to Tim Riester. He joins us now, Phoenix Rising FC Club co-owner, board member of the team. And when Tim came on board, this is the first time he's been with me on the show, so I can say this publicly. When Tim came on board with the team, I said, this is a real key hire because here's somebody that can take that whole marketing business side and go run with it. And to get them to the next level, which is the MLS, they're going to need to have that. In the last couple of months, Rising FC has made progress, I think, in getting towards the MLS, huge progress. And we've had a lot of fans with questions. So, Tim, I appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks.
Well, Brad, thank you so much for your kind comments. And it's a pleasure to be with you. And I really appreciate everything you've done over the years to help advance professional soccer in Arizona.
I appreciate that. All right, let's get right down the list of questions I've gotten from fans here. The stadium update. When is groundbreaking on this? I'm getting these types of questions. What can you give us in terms of that?
Well, the private groundbreaking has already occurred because the stadium is on tribal lands. The Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community wanted to have their own blessing of the site in their customs and in private. So that's already happened. If you've driven by the site, you've probably seen a whole lot of progress over the last week. They're very large yellow tractors moving dirt and getting the pitch ready to roll, and you'll see every day an amazing amount of progress as we move toward our March 25th home opener against Toronto. So everything's underway. I think we'll have a public groundbreaking ceremony in about 2 weeks. We're waiting until we're ready to lay the first piece of sod.
Okay.
And we'll be inviting our fans to join us out there and help us put the first piece of grass on the new pitch.
In terms of fans that aren't aware of the stadium location, why don't you give them the cross streets and all of that so they have a better idea, Tim?
Oh, absolutely. Thanks, Brad. The new stadium, so Phoenix Rising FC has signed a long-term agreement with a development organization of the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community called Solano. And we've secured 45 acres of land just north of the 202 freeway in east of McClintock. So you would exit at McClintock, you would go north just a few hundred yards, and then you'll turn into our property. And we're currently developing the first 16 acres of the 45-acre piece. We have it on a 70-year lease. We have options to extend the lease well beyond that into the future. And this first 16-acre parcel that we're developing will house a permanent training facility for our team, so it'll have a field just for training purposes. It will have a team headquarters for the players and the coaching staff with really nice locker rooms and training equipment and offices. And then it will have a pop-up stadium. And a pop-up stadium is different than a $200 million stadium. It's a stadium that we can put up very quickly. And the best way I can describe it is for fans who've attended the Phoenix Open, the Waste Management Phoenix Open Golf Tournament, we've hired the exact same vendors who erect the bleachers and corporate suites at that sporting event, and they will be building our pop-up stadium for us. So it will be the exact same luxury seating that fans experience at the Phoenix Open, and we'll have very similar corporate suites, except ours will be air-conditioned.
So it's like being at the 16th hole. You're making another 16? Is that what you're doing, Tim?
It'll be just like the 16th hole, except there'll be a beautiful FIFA qualified soccer pitch, and we're investing millions of dollars in this. So it will be the nicest soccer facility that we've ever had here in Arizona, and it will be our home until we are accepted by MLS to become the home of one of the expansion franchises. And as soon as that occurs, we'll break ground on the rest of the property and start building a permanent 20 to 25,000 seat stadium that would be climate controlled and up to the standards of MLS.
We were joined by Tim Riester, Phoenix Rising FC Club co-owner, board member. So again, I'm getting questions sent in to me, and over the last 24 hours since I said you were coming on, Have the people at Rising FC looked at partnering with the Coyotes given their current situation? So questions I've had sent to me by fans.
Yeah, so we are focused on business transactions that we can control. And while we have great respect for all the other professional sports franchises here in Arizona and are fans of their teams and want them all to be extremely successful, partnering with one on a stadium isn't something where we have 100% control. And because the MLS application occurred so quickly, and because an opportunity to hopefully work with MLS will require us to move even faster regarding the development of a stadium, we didn't want to put ourselves in a position where we needed anybody else to say yes or we needed public financing. Instead, we locked in our own land at the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community, and we've locked in our own financing. So we're ready to go, and we're hopeful that the Coyotes will end up nearby. I think that would be great for both of our organizations. But we're not in a position where we're partnering with them on a stadium or a site.
It's good to know. Was asked here about the expansion. Obviously, a lot of questions on this front. So, and I brought this up last week when I saw that Don Garber was in San Diego for 2 days, and he went to Sacramento and he went to Cincinnati. He didn't come here. I was going to call him, but I figured I'll start with you. Where are you at with having the MLS come here now that you've put in the application?
So interestingly, the MLS and Don Garber, they have been here.
Okay.
Mr. Garber and his colleagues actually visited Phoenix 13 or 14 years ago and stood on the site where we are currently under construction. Okay. And identified it as an ideal location for a future MLS stadium and franchise here in Phoenix. He has not been here recently. Instead, we went to him. And what had occurred when we acquired the team at the end of August and began the process of a rebranding and some of the changes that we thought would be necessary to have an opportunity to compete for an MLS franchise, they became aware of what was happening in Phoenix. They were looking at the interest in the market, the press coverage. We were very fortunate, Brad, with your help and other media experts and professionals throughout the Southwest in the United States. Within 1 week of our name change to Phoenix Rising FC, we had over 255 million media impressions, and that really caught their attention at MLS. And they understood that we were very serious in Phoenix now. We're ready. We have the financial backing to take this all the way to MLS, and we're in a market that has proven time and time again with Copa America, think about the different sporting events that come here and succeed over and over again, whether it's NASCAR. NASCAR does 2 sprint events here instead of just 1. We've already mentioned the Phoenix Open. It's the largest attended PGA golf event of the entire season, and it happens here. We've had 2 Super Bowls. Interestingly, is the only city without an MLS team participating in Copa America as a host city. We had the highest amount of attendance to a single game with the Mexico-Uruguay game. So I think MLS is known for quite some time that Phoenix is a must-have city for their league. They were just waiting for the right ownership group to come together with the financial backing and a stadium solution, and we now finally have that.
It's all good stuff. We're visiting with Tim Riester, Phoenix Rising FC Club co-owner, Brad Cesmat, sports360az.com. We partner with the Arizona Republic, AZ Central Sports. Appreciate Tim with us. One other question that I've gotten from fans on this is, in terms of level of competition with other cities, I know you can only control so much. But with the NFL leaving San Diego and the MLS immediately going out there and a big media push from what I see out there, is San Diego a competition for you? Is it Sacramento? Is it Cincinnati? 2020 is when we hear they want to add. Fill in the blanks on that, because I've gotten a lot of questions in that regard.
Well, we have great respect for the other applicants for the MLS franchise expansion cities. And some of them compete with us in the United Soccer League now and have a history of very good fan attendance. And I think one of the things that MLS would like to see from us, really it's the only unknown piece, is even though Phoenix has proven that it would support professional soccer with attendance at very high levels like Copa America, can we create consistent fan support and attendance for our USL team that we could leverage and carry forward to MLS? Sacramento and Sac Republic, Sacramento Republic is the United Soccer League team up there, has done this very well. So is Cincinnati. So this is something where I need to ask all of the soccer fans in Arizona, if you want to help us bring MLS to Phoenix, you have a very important part. We've covered everything else that's a requirement. They just need to see the fans committed to bringing the sport by showing up and attending the games that we have now. When you look at our seat pricing, it's very quickly obvious we're not trying to make money on this right now. We have seats priced at $10 and $20 and $25 and $30. So people can afford season tickets to come see Phoenix Rising FC and bring the whole family, and it's less expensive than going to see a movie. So if the fans will come out, I think we can get there. And if you put yourself in the shoes of MLS, and more importantly, an MLS sponsor, Phoenix is at the top of the list across every single category of measurement of the expansion cities. We have the largest population. We have the largest forecasted population by 2030. We have the largest population of millennials under the age of 45, and we have the largest population of Hispanics. And then probably number one, we have the largest TV households.
Right.
Of all 12 expansion cities. So if you're Don Garber and you're going to go in and have a big meeting with a potential sponsor for the whole MLS league and talk to them about supporting the league, would you rather tell them you just added another dinky city to the group, or you've added the biggest city with the most TV households and the greatest soccer fans of all of the United States that aren't currently part of the league? That's what we offer to MLS.
It's pretty convincing. Where do I sign up? I appreciate your time on this and hope to see you down the road and visit more on this, Tim. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Brad. Talk to you soon.